Hi guys, and welcome to our next video. This video is again practical and it's going to be again for SQL injection. Keep in mind that we have a lot of SQL injection video because this is like top 5, one of the top 5 best vulnerabilities. And really most of the websites, most of the web applications are somehow vulnerable to that application, to that attack, sorry. So it's really important to know that stuff, to know that feature, to know that vulnerability, and of course to know how to implement and perform such an attack. So now we are focused on post methods, since in the previous video we were only actually executing the attack under get methods with the URL parameters, as you remember. But now we're gonna see how the post methods are actually working, how the application is basically replying and understanding our post methods, and how can we manipulate that vulnerability. So basically we're gonna need a burp suite for that because it's gonna be easier with burp, and we can do it manually with the search box, but really we don't need to do that heavy work. So basically just open a Firefox and let's now navigate to our BWAP project. So give it a little bit time to load and specify the BWAP. Yeah, so here 192.168.1.102. Click the BWAP, login now, go to bug and SQL injection post search. Okay, so here we have the search box as the previous one. We see the HTML and the front end is quite the same as the get one, just the get and the post is different, but the backend tells me is slightly different. So click hack, and now let's try to do something like ASD. We have no movies found. If you click search, we have all the movies displayed as before, but we see now in the URL bar right there we have no parameters available. We have nothing available, so we can change. Here, of course, if I type the quote, the single quote, and just search for that, I get the exact same error. And by heavy lifting, I mean that we can go here and specify our old SQL injection commands, but this is going to be really tough, and I recommend to open a Foxy proxy, enable burp, and shoot it. So burp suite. Now you're going to see how slightly better the things are using that tool. Click next, start burp. The burp has two quote repeater, which actually allow us to go through some requests without actually forwarding it. So basically here we've set up our intercept to on. Now we set up our proxy, and it's time to actually input something like SD. Click search, and we see our browser freezes because our request is now to burp. It catches the request, and now if we go to burp, we see the whole body of the request, and we see we have post method right there, and the parameters are right here. So we can go and change that here, but again it's gonna be the same work since we need to refresh and input parameters again. So now what I can do is basically right click and send to repeater, or click Ctrl R. Now see the repeater is actually gone yellow. That means we have something updated there. Click the repeater, and now this is the basic interface of the repeater. You see we have the request and we have the response. So basically we are still intercepting that traffic, we are still intercepting that proxy, that request, sorry. And we are changing here the parameters, and using only the repeater we're gonna see how the application behaves and what the application basically responds to us. So now if I go to go, can click go, we see we have the tooltip like issue the request, and here in the response we have raw packets, we have the headers, we have the hexadecimal, we have the HTML of the page, and we have the render which displays the page in pure HTML, so like we are at the browser. So that render here is used only by that to see what output can we get like visually without inspecting the code. And if we are going, for example, for some kind of vulnerability, so SQL injection, this is quite useful. So now here we are still intercepting that traffic, we are not letting it go, but with the repeater we can now modify and throw different parameters. Now let's say we specify single column, we see the SQL error. Now we can go and type the exact same thing as before, like order by 50, and we can specify the terminator here. Click go, and since we told before that everything after the terminator is counted as a comment, we can purely delete that. It's not gonna cause any trouble since it's calculated like a comment anyways. So we see a non-column 50. Okay, we can go and specify the same procedure again, like 7, click go. No movies were found, and we can go for the same union. Let's say union select, and 1 2 3 4 5 6. Click go. Yeah, therefore we can change the two option, like table name from information scheme data name table names. Click go. I think here is without ds. Tables. Okay, yeah, we specify the tables right here, and we can scroll down and see all the available tables. Therefore, let's say we are now interested in the table heroes, and let's say we want to actually see the columns. So here, column, and go for table column. But here we're going to add the where clause, so where table name equals basically heroes. And let's see what records you have under the heroes one. So table column, okay, put ds. Okay, just sorry about that, guys. Name didn't saw that. Name column name, and therefore we have information scheme columns, and where table name equals heroes. Click go. Now it's actually ready to go, and we see we have ID, login, password. We can now select that. So basically we can select login, and here we can select in the field 3 the password. From we delete that and just leave the heroes one. So here from heroes, and leave the terminator again, click go, and we have the logins and the passwords stored in that database. So if you click scroll down, we see all the records over there. So this is, guys, how can you implement actually on SQL attack. This is how you can implement it using post methods, and you see that it's not that much difference between the post and the get. The output is the same, the procedure is quite the same, but keep in mind that the methods are different, and you maybe encounter an engagement where one of them is actually vulnerable and the other one is not. So basically the developers have set up the get method and they secured the get method, but they have forgotten about the post method. So basically you have to try both to see if you can find any vulnerability, and even though the procedure is quite the same and the vulnerability is quite the same, the methods are different and we have more chance to find something. So I really appreciate you guys for watching, and I'm going to see you in the next video when we are going to continue with SQL injections, and most importantly with SQL injections in actual user fields, login fields and login forms. So thank you everyone for watching, and see you in the next video.